Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Ultimate Sorter and Item Storage System. Today we are sorting armor, but before we get into that, please subscribe, comment and like, and look forward to hearing what you have to say. Today we are looking at armor sorters, and we've got three different versions over here. We've got our first one over here by Ilmango, a really good compact design with unfortunately you have to supply it with arrows, but hopefully you can get plenty into your system, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But a nice and compact design. Will only sort out armor as a whole, it won't sort as individual pieces. Second design here is Raceworks, and this will actually sort into helmets, chest plates, trousers or leggings and boots. Unfortunately, I've really struggled to get this to work, and I've not been able to find anything to solve any of my issues, but it is out there, it is worth checking out, and if you do find a solution, hit me up. I'd really like to actually use it in my sorter. And our third option over here is by Nanotech Noob, another good sorter, and actually uses a skeleton, so we don't need to use arrows, and it loops around the armor stands. And we have our friend the Iron Golem over here as well, and that's another good design to use. But we are going to go with Mr. Ilmango's. It just works slightly quicker than the design over there, so in my eyes this is going to be much more suitable for our ultimate sorter. Just really wish we could get Raceworks into our design, but unfortunately we're going to have to go with Ilmango, or fortunately, let's be honest, it's still a very good design. So let me show you how this works. So in my inventory I have a selection of items. Some of it, like the potions, would have been sorted out earlier on in our sorter, but definitely worth us showing you how this works. So in here we're going to place all of our items, and this is just a clock to slow this down so things aren't going too quickly. So as we're seeing items put through, we'll see the armor being put onto the armor stand. That is being shot at by our dispenser by an arrow, and then the items or the armor is going into this bottom one, and everything else is going into this top one. And as we can see, that happened very quickly, and so it is a very good design. So let's get on and build this, shall we? So we are over here at our Ultimate Sorter. We now have our final unsortable chests in place, with our hoppers going all the way from the back over there where our armor sorter will be. Down below we have everything in place up to the armor sorter, so we'll have all of the leftover unsortable or unstackable items coming over here, coming up and into the top of our sorter. So we need to place it in here, and then the rest of the items will go off over there. So for this build you will need, so first off we are going to place our two chests on top of each other so we know exactly where they need to be. Then we're going to come off the side here, and we're going to have a hopper going into our bottom chest, so this will be for our armor. And then we're going to get a dropper and face that into our top chest, and that will be for our non-armor items. Then going into this dropper we're going to place a hopper and a slab on top of that. Then we're going to get a couple of temporary blocks just to come down and over like so. And then we're going to place our droppers facing up, so we'll have 3 facing up, and then we need to get a dispenser facing that way. We're going to place in a temporary block there, and then have another dispenser facing that way, and then we can get rid of that temporary block there. Then come back down, remove that temporary block, and then we'll place a hopper going into that bottom dropper. Then you're going to get your note block, place it on this top dropper next to or below the dispenser, place a building block on top of that, and then one to the side, and then we're going to place our torch on the side of that block like so, with a dot of redstone dust on top, and then just above it we're going to place another stone brick. Then we're going to come down to this hopper here, going to come out one, going to put a temporary block, and then a long one, and then another temporary block, and up, and then on top of this one we're going to place a redstone dust, and then 2 redstone repeaters on 3 ticks. Now you're going to come round to the back side here, and we're going to grab our building blocks again, put one next to that dropper, then we're going to place a temporary one below, and then out of that we're going to come out 3 like so, another temporary block, and up one, temporary block, along, temporary block, along, and then another temporary block up there and up to there, and then we're going to place one right there, which we actually placed earlier and got rid of. And then from here you're going to run 3 bits of redstone dust down, get your repeaters and place 3 in a row, all set on 2 ticks. And then where this note block is, we're going to place a block with a comparator on top. So it should look something like that. So where we have these 3 repeaters, what we want to do is just come down below and then put a redstone dust there, and then that will lock that hopper, stopping any of the other items going into the chest. Now we need to put in the mechanism up here for our arrow fire dispenser. So we're going to put a repeater, then a block, then another block with a repeater on top, both on 1 tick. And then we're going to place a block in front of that repeater with a dispenser facing towards our other, and it has to be at this sort of gap, otherwise the arrow won't hit the armor stand. Now to finish this off, we're going to place a temporary block there, grab a rail like so, place that on top with our minecart with a hopper, and then break that block underneath it so it will fall down and sit on top of this slab. Now you're going to get your armor stands. You're going to place 3 in this bottom one, 14 in the first dropper pointing up, and then 1 in the 2 above that. And then in the top one you just want to place 1 armor stand just to prime the system ready to go. Now you're going to grab your hoppers and come all the way behind your dispenser up here, and we're going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is where we're going to put our timer for our items coming up from the rest of our unsorted. So we're going to grab temporary blocks once more, come to the end of our hopper chain, place 2 blocks like so, grab a dropper facing into that hopper, and then from here we're going to place or leave this one here, and then we'll place another block there. Then we need to drop down, so we're going to place a temporary block and then come out 3 and 1 there, and then we will place 1 up and 1 up there. Now grab your repeaters, place 1 there and 1 there, and then we're going to put a comparator there on subtract with a redstone dust in the middle. We've just missed one bit here, a very important bit, so we're going to bring a block over and place a redstone dust there, so then that will create the clock for our timer. So now we just need to load up our dispenser with our arrows, so we can put those in there. We've got our armor stands in there, and then we have our input chest or input over here, so we can put our hopper going into there, and then that clock which will slow everything down. So now it's just a case of testing it. Now we're going to start to place some items in here, and we can see it in operation. So let's get these all in, and we can hear the system firing off behind us. There we go, we can see the armor being equipped on the armor stands. And then down here, yep, seeing none of the armor and all of the armor in the bottom one. And that's it, we're done. So now we just need to link it up. So what we're going to do is break that one and break that one, and we need another dropper. And we're going to face this one around here with our chest in front of it, and then we can run our hoppers from over here into the bottom of that chest like so. So all of the non-armor items will go all the way over to our unsortable chests, and then the armor we can just run our hoppers up to this chest here, and then all the armor will go down into here. And that is it for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hope you're going to be using this armor sorter in your plans in the future. I'll also link the videos to all 3 of the armor sorters that I used or I looked at in the description down below. And please don't forget to like, comment, and obviously subscribe. And we'll see you in the very last episode of the Ultimate Sorter and Item Storage System. Bye!